Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today I want to talk to you about something that I call affirmation cycling. So, affirmations, as you know, are a statement that kind of embodies exactly what you want, the thing that you're manifesting. So, I make $1,000 a day. I'm so happy and grateful that my specific person texts me every day. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm in a committed, loving, romantic relationship with my specific person. I am loved. I am wanted. I am cherished. Those are just some examples of affirmations that I've used in my life as a manifester. And so, with those affirmations, I would do them periodically, like say 5 minutes a day, or even longer than that. I would do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, and 5 minutes in the evening. Or I also do this thing where I would just take a notebook and I would just write my affirmations over and over again. I find that very meditative. I find it really enjoyable to do. I love pens and papers and that sort of thing. So if you don't love doing that, saying them inside your head or saying them out loud is perfectly acceptable as a way to do affirmations. And affirmations are just a technique. It's not a technique that you have to choose to use. There are lots of ways to manifest. And remember, it's your focus and yourself, your very essence of yourself that's manifesting. It's not any of the techniques. The techniques are just a funnel for you to put all this manifesting energy into. I still use techniques every single day. I love them. But it's not, I know that it's not what's manifesting. So with affirmation cycling, what I have found is that I will do an affirmation and I'll hit it hard and heavy for a little bit, a week, maybe 3 days, and I will then kind of drop it. Then, if it hasn't manifested, I will hit it hard and heavy again. And it's kind of robotic, right? It's kind of a form of robotic affirmations, or it's kind of a form of just saturation affirmations. And then I take this break. And at first, when I would do this, I was worried about the break. And I found that the break really doesn't hinder my manifestations from coming to me. And so I just cycle the affirmations that I really resonate with. So another tip that I want to give you is when I'm choosing the affirmation that I'm going to do this with, I sort of sit with it. I make sure it's the affirmation that I want to use. And if I start doing one of these sort of saturation 5-minute, 10-minute sessions where I'm going to be saying this affirmation or writing this affirmation over and over again, if there's just something about the affirmation that feels off to me or just like that I'm not enjoying, like I know I have the right affirmation when I'm like, oh yes, this is the one that I want. This is what I want to say this. I want to write this over and over again. I feel really good about it. Now, if there's an affirmation that you have that feels, just off, it doesn't feel good to you, keep working on the wording. Just tweak the wording a little bit until you get the affirmation exactly how you want it. And then the next little tip that I did think of while I was saying that is sort of like, so you do want to pay really close attention to your body and your feelings, like how you're feeling about the affirmation. Because another thing that has happened to me and can happen is that you feel almost like when you hit on a good affirmation, you feel almost like a little bit afraid of getting exactly what you want. Not that you have a lot of fear, not that like you don't want that to happen. It's just like there's this feeling of like changing, this feeling of really walking into something new that that I've noticed and I've experienced. And so if you're having that feeling, just sort of stop for a second, really acknowledge that feeling, and then just ask yourself for your true opinion, do I really want this? And if the answer is yes, then you keep going. And some of that fear too, I think, comes in with a belief that your body may be telling you that you can't have this thing. And you just tell yourself, In that moment, if you think that's what's happening with you, is there some sort of fear that you can't have this thing coming up? Like you go, no, self, I can have this thing. You're safe. You're safe to have this thing. I am safe to have my specific person love me. I am safe to have the money that I want and desire to live the life that I want. I am safe to have this job that is a big public job that is going to get a lot of attention. And you say those things to yourself, and then you keep doing the affirmations. Now, let's get to the cycling part. I already mentioned it's sort of about taking this break. So I just do these affirmations until I reach kind of a natural feeling of satisfaction, a natural feeling of like I'm bored and I'm just ready to move on, a natural feeling of like, yeah, I've done it. I've done the work, and now that the manifestation can come. And I take a break. And sometimes I'll even forget one of the affirmations. And it's not necessarily like I forget what I'm manifesting, because that's not really it. Like I kind of vaguely remember, like, oh yeah, I was really focused in trying to manifest this thing, and I don't even really remember doing all those affirmations until I get the manifestation. So as I've mentioned the last couple of days, I had a really big manifestation happen this weekend, and I did this thing, this affirmation cycling with this. And I haven't really been doing those affirmations recently. But I hit it. I did a saturation. I did several days of these affirmations. And then I kind of just dropped it. And lo and behold, the manifestation came. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for listening, and may you manifest exactly what you want.